Hello and welcome to another Wargame Red Dragon video with me, Bubblebox, and today we're continuing with the Bubble and Silver and Vulcan Do deck series on Hop and Glory using the single Scandinavian decks once again, but this time we've switched it around and I am using the Danish deck. Silverraptor, he's got the short straw this time. I had the Norwegians last time. He's got the Norwegians this time. The Norwegians, of course, do have a fair amount of gaps in their decks, and we've got Vulcan, who is with the lovely Swedish nation today. Now Vulcan will be heading over to Golf with the help of Silverraptor. Silverraptor's going to try and secure Foxtrot. I'm heading over to Juliet. You can see I've just dropped my command off over in Juliet, and I'm going to be trying to do battle over Echo and Delta. So that's the plan. I've left the game open so you can see what's going on. It's a 3v3 and it's on Hop and Glory. So you can see that all I've done basically is sent a single command over just to get control of Juliet. There's no danger of the enemy, even the fastest choppers getting there first, so because it's such a long way from their base. Just put my links up there just to scout a little bit, just to make sure they're not coming round the bend too quickly. I've brought out some leopards just to get myself a nice presence on the battlefield, and a couple of the lovely EOTS Hawks, which are non-radar guided, so you don't have to babysit them too much. Really nice anti-air units of the Danish, and I'm bringing out a Lynx Recon squad, which I'm going to try and stick up in Echo. And of course, bear in mind, we can't really see at all what the enemy's doing. If I put it to neutral, if I put it to my perspective briefly, you can see we can't see the enemy units yet. I'm just leaving that on for your benefit so that you can see what the enemy is doing. So looks like Vulcan's made his way over to Golf with a bunch of rifle infantry in these nice little GGB armoured vehicles with their little I don't know whether that's a machine gun. With the enemy kind of scouting around. Looks like that Ka-52's let off its infrared missiles at something or other. Silverraptor has managed to secure Foxtrot, as the enemy have actually managed to get a BRM recon squad over the river, just into the trees here to keep an eye on us. And they've made good ground, of course, into Charlie, as I have done into Juliet. And I'm already getting bombarded. It looks like some AP artillery coming in, which will put my leopards in a little bit of danger, although my hawks haven't made it that far yet. I'm just putting a recon squad, a proper recon rather than just that Lynx, up on the right hand side just to check out what the enemy's doing, and they're doing the same to me. You can see they've got a little MI2 recon chopper up there. They've set themselves up quite nicely actually. They've got a nice ring of defence here, which can snipe at anything, including a T62. Is that? Yeah, I think what's that? A T64 rather, with its Cobra long-range anti-tank missiles. And they're sending over an Su-24 anti-radar plane, which my EOTS Hawks are going to have a go at. Of course, they're not radar guided, and we take that thing out. Very nice indeed. I bring in a little bit more anti-air in the Lynx here. In the truck here, and some more rifle infantry in the Lynx. So the EOTS Hawks certainly did a good job. I'm trying to move them. They're not the fastest thing in the world, only 25 kilometers per hour, and you can see they've put an attack marker above them straight away after these guys fired. So they're on the ball with their artillery, although they haven't got any tube artillery out at the moment, just the Smershes. In the meantime, you can see that Vulcan is setting up a nice defence all the way along the tree line here, and he's actually going to start to push forward with his trucks. Dropped off all his infantry, his Hemversion, and he's pushing forward a little bit with his trucks. They're going to probably get taken out. The enemy's got 4 T-80Bs, really nice Russian tanks with the big Cobra missiles. We'll take them out, but I think that's more of a kind of a scouting mission now. I don't think that's a full-on push by Vulcan at this point in the game. And he's got some anti-air units in there just sniping away at those Mi4s, which are sniping back quite violently. Although those T-80Bs are in a bit of an open space as Vulcan sends in one of his Vegan cluster bombers. And if this gets on target, it'll be a big hit. Although they have moved them forward now. And, unfortunately, the clusters just drop in behind. But he's got a block. Oh, that's my block, actually, coming in after. Oh, it gets shot down by the MiG-25. Oh, no. What shot that down? I'm not sure what shot that down. Oh, the buck. There's a buck sitting right there. Shot that down and immediately get the... yes! Plane goes down. He's taken out 2 of the T-80Bs. Gone a bit deep with the T-80Bs, but they've got the rifle infantry there shooting back. Taken out the rifle squad, but 2 T-80Bs down. Definitely worth. And he's got a STRV. One of these big monster tanks of the Swedish, moving backwards and forwards. Just trying to hold the line. He's got STRF and some Panzer Strikers here. Got to be a little bit careful against these. Still these 2 T-80Bs. Creating a bit of havoc in Gregory. And they've also called in a smirch on the rest of Vulcan's squad. They must have seen this command tank, really, that he's got in here. So they're going to smirch that. Puff coming in from Silverraptor now. Must have seen the bucks firing off. So he's got his... oh, actually, it's going to target this Buriusa. And I think takes one out, but the other one's stayed in. As Silverraptor also flies over a CF-104. Napalms the region here, trying to stop this push coming in. I'm ignoring my side a little bit, although there is some action going on as I've pushed up into the hill with some stingers. Or they're not called stingers, they're called LLR KTs, but they're pretty much stingers. And some my Jaegers recon squad and some FKPs moving up just to protect my Jaegers. My Hawks have survived their arty attack and still sitting there. As that Su-24 isn't going to do any good because these aren't radar guided. Silverraptor sitting there in the middle, and he is now supporting Vulcan a little bit here. Vulcan taking most of the punishment on this side, although it is still, I think, just one guy over here. Oh, General over, yeah. We've got a PVRBV Ito truck moving up into the forest here, and a MiG-23 coming in. And doing not a lot as an F-16 comes in and takes it out. So Vulcan desperate for a bit of resupply because all of his Hawks are out of ammo, radar guided. Hawks out of ammo back there, they need to be resupplied. This guy's still probing forward. Got some PMP-1s. I don't know what they're quite doing there. They're kind of just sitting there full of infantry waiting to get killed, it seems. All this stuff is a little bit out in the open. We've got a Yak-38 from Paramount coming in with its napalm. Looks like it's going for this forest here, maybe. Has it dropped? Unfortunately, Silver's out of AA missiles, but he has got his Silverraptor's, Vulcan rather, but Silverraptor's F-16 comes in and manages to take out that napalm bomber. T-62, C-64As coming in now, medium kind of tanks. Vulcan's just pulling back his STRV, which is quite damaged now. He doesn't want to lose that tank if he can help it. To these letting these T-64As getting too close to it with its kinetic rounds, which of course are more powerful up close. They have dropped off their motor Strelky, CF-104 bomber coming in from Silverraptor, hopefully going to show them down. But that buck has been rearmed, or it's a different buck actually, taking some shots at the CF-104 and takes that out as an Su-27 continues to fly in the background for a bit of air superiority for the enemy. So the enemy using quite a lot of planes. On my side, nothing too exciting. That Su-24 still flying around. I have pushed my Stingers just back a bit because we have been attacked in the mountain. My Hawks take down the anti-radar plane, and again I just try to move it as quick as I can after it's fired because that is going to be targeted, and with its slow speed it does take a little while to reposition itself. But you can see the enemy we did have a little bit of a battle up on the mountain here. I have got my FKPs there, which should be able to take care of these Ravadietskas, or however you pronounce that, the little recon squad, which is probably trying to hunt down my Jaegers. I've also got out a little automatic, is radar guided of course, but now that that radar plane has been shot down, I'm hoping that's okay, and I do actually leave it with the radar turned on for the time being. Meanwhile, over on the left, One of Vulcan's STRVs are popping away at these vehicles that are trying to get across the open ground. They're not going to get across the open ground with an STRV sitting there unless they can get rid of that STRV. And he's bringing a little bit more infantry in these little trucks as well. He's got a bit of recon out there, just checking out their recon, just kind of gazing at each other over there. Got a couple of F-16AM air superiority fighters. I think, oh, was that from Silverraptor? I'm not sure. But the enemy, you can see, they have managed to encroach on our side of the map and are in this compound with some Spetsnaz and just trying to get some recon over there to support this BRM. And we've got a KA-59 in the background with its rockets sitting there. They've even brought out some artillery. These Akanisas, not the most effective artillery, but yeah, looks like they're going to be artillerying Vulcan and Silverraptor are now supporting him in their positions here in goal. So it looks like their Silverraptor's managed to sort of get this compound here, Foxtrot, and he's going to be supporting Vulcan on the left here now, whereas I continue on the right on my own. Although looks like I'm getting a bit of artillery support though. It looks like Vulcan, or Silverraptor rather, is giving me a bit of artillery support. My Stinger missile squad here just taking some pot shots at their recon helicopter and managing to take it down as the artillery comes in on my positions. I have managed to micro my EOTS Hawk into, I say, relative safety. It's a little bit out in the open, but luckily for us they haven't got any recon over here spotting what we've got, as I move my Chaos chopper a little bit forward to try and see what they've got, and it's immediately sniped by their Strela. They've also got a lovely Akula sitting in the background there as well. But the artillery's still coming in, so maybe they did spot this EOTS Hawk, which is now getting artilleried. In fact, is that their Smersh firing off again? I think it is, yeah, that's their Smersh. As another Su-24 comes out, another seed plane. I don't know, he must have spotted my automatics, I think, and that's what he's going for, which is on at the moment. So they're going to get targeted, and ooh, a hit there into my automatic. But seemed to survive. Did it survive that hit completely? Definitely got hit there. Didn't seem to take any damage. Su-24 is still flying around in the background, and I have actually turned off my automatic now. Maybe, but unfortunately my Hawks have been taken out by the artillery, so it wasn't able to shoot down the Su-24. Bit of a shame there, but never mind. So basically not a big battle going on the right here. The action continues though on the left. Vulcan's still got his big STRV moving backwards and forwards, microing that very, very nicely, and manages to take out that Sturm. 50 points worth of Sturm there. Bites the dust. They're just not having any luck, are they? Pushing across the open ground as Vulcan and with the help of Silverraptor over here, managing just to kind of dig in here and absorb these attacks and building up their forces quite significantly. Got STRVs back here as well in the woods, so hopefully they're going to be, oh, these are big tanks he's got hanging around here. Oh, big tanks, decent tanks, all these lovely Swedish tanks, and hopefully he's building up with Silverraptor here, and they might, hopefully we'll do a big push later on. That'll be something to watch when that happens, or if it happens. In the meantime, on my side, it's kind of a little bit more of an attritional combat. Looks like the Akula's been firing its infrared missiles off at something or other. Maybe some planes that were flying over. I'm just trying to kind of get my Stingers into position to take a pot shot at that Akula. I don't know, but you can see here clearly they haven't got much recon on the go. Let's just see what the enemy can actually see. If we put it to one of their players' perspective, yeah, they can't see any of my units. They can see a few on the left hand side, and if we put it quickly to our perspective, or to my perspective, I can see a few of their units there, as you can see, and we can see a couple of their units, but not too much effective reconnaissance going on in the game at the moment, and I'll put it back to neutral. So it looks like I'm still getting some artillery support from somebody. From myself. So I have brought out my SKHM10GGs, 109Gs. The reason I got these, I think I just got a whole load of these things because they were kind of cheap and had quite a lot of ammo. They won't suck too hard on your fob. And I've actually bought another 4 out there. In fact, I bought 12 of these things. And if I remember back to this game, I think my plan was to just saturate artillery the position before I move in for the attack, and in the meantime just keep building up my forces and try and do a big push eventually, hopefully, into Delta. I can't actually remember until I play this full replay, because it was about a week ago I recorded it, or played it. We'll have to see what happens. I have got a Fennec TOW 2 out there just to try and battle this T-64-8, although the T-64 has got the Cobra missiles, but the TOW 2, you can see, is just getting some shots off. I managed to take that out very nicely. They have got an Afghansky here. The Akula, of course, is out of infrared missiles, so there's a cargo going to resupply it. They've got a Strela back here, but nothing that was in position to attack my Fennec at the time, so it manages to snipe that tank as the artillery comes straight in to try and take out my Fennec. But I'll be hustling that back to the FOB for a resupply. So I've got all my artillery here. We'll soon be using that, hopefully. The middle, not a lot happening, although they have got recon out in here, of course. And on the left, again, the build-up continues. We've got more resupply. He's just buffing up his units a little bit, just hopefully getting ready for a push. Got a couple of Amoses here coming in, these lovely mortar units of the Swedish from Vulcan. More infantry in these really nice STRF trucks with the Bofors, nice Bofors gun. In fact, we've got 4 Amos and another STRV tank coming in as well to supplement all the tanks he's already got. So the enemy are basically kind of dug in quite nicely all over their positions. What they do have is quite good fighters, seed. They've got quite a good air force up, which is kind of holding us back maybe a little bit, especially, you know, it's just holding us back a little bit. They're also using quite a lot of artillery. They've got some misters, smershes up here, three smershes firing away at our positions, and they're kind of reinforcing. They don't look like they're going for a push. They haven't really pushed too hard anywhere, apart from trying to push across this open ground, which has kind of been stopped on every occasion because of the presence of the big tanks around this tree line here. They are bringing in their own big tanks, but like I say, I think Vulcan's kind of, it's a nice tank battle. You don't get a lot of good tank battles on Red Dragon because of a lot of the maps are fairly enclosed, but in this case, with this open ground, there's a lot of tank action going on with not a lot of use, or not a lot of the infantry rather will not a lot of use at this stage of the battle on this side, because they just can't cross the open ground. He has repositioned his WAS there, I think because they must have been artillerying the town. So on my side, you can see I've got all my artillery. This one needs to reload. Basically, we're peppering the town at the moment, trying to soften up their positions. Now, of course, in the game I didn't see this, but we are succeeding. Looks like we've done a fair amount of damage to this VDV 90 squad in the front building here. We've done some damage to their recon squad. We've done some real damage to these 2 BTRs sitting here that haven't yet unloaded, and some damage to the VDRs. So, although these, you know, I did wonder about putting these artillery pieces in my deck, but the thing is, they're only 50 points. You can get a lot of them, and they've got a lot of ammo, and you can see that if you get enough of them, I mean, it has cost me what, 600 points to get those 12 artillery pieces out. They have got a wide dispersion, but that's what they're for. They're for sort of smattering a big area before an assault. Now, what the enemy's doing, they're bringing, he must have, I don't know whether he sent that Akula back to his base for a refuel, maybe he did, but he's got his Akula back anyway, fully loaded, with a KA-52 this time, to provide him with a little bit of recon. Now, in the meantime, I'm starting to build up my infantry into position now, and I start to move forward my leopards. Now, I don't know what's in this tree line here. All I know is that I've been artillerying their positions in the town as I now start to artillery the tree line for the last few minutes, and I'm just hoping that they have been taken down a bit. Now, I've got a couple of automatics to supply to help out here, not only against their aircraft and helicopters, but also against their infantry, as my infantry, which I now start to move forward slowly, encroach towards the town as I continue the artillery barrage on the town and on the tree line. Now, we have managed to dispatch off that tank that was sitting just here near the E of Echo. I'm also moving forward my infantry through Echo For some reason, they're bringing in an MI6. That was probably sent a lot earlier to try to resupply the continually bombarded infantry in Delta. They're kind of sneaking around the side here. I have got my stingers there, so they'll hold off those choppers. The leopards, I decide to switch to the side and try to take this tree line, because I know now they've got stuff in tree line. But again, their strong air force is at it again. We are taking these out, but they are attacking my units. My hawks are all out of ammo there. Managed to took down only one of those planes. There's a Yak 38 bomber coming in. That's not actually targeting me. I'm not sure where that's going. It might actually be a time to attack some of my artillery, but Silverraptor bring his F-16s out and dispatch of that bomber nicely. Now I have managed to get one of my leopards into the tree line, and I'm just sweeping through the tree line trying to clear up any opposition as they pull back their Strela. I've managed also to get the FRPs from the mountains in Echo into the tree line. I'm moving them forward, but they do bring forward their 2 Akulas to push my tank push back, which they managed to snipe my recon squad. I do try to bring forward my automatics. I've only got one left. I think one of those planes must have taken out the other one, just to try to get their Akulas to go back. So hopefully this automatic might get a shot on that Akula. It depends if he manages to micro it back in time. The Akula is opening up. The automatic opens up. The Akula misses its missile. The automatic takes out the Akula. So it was quite a nice push. I've gained ground, but I didn't do what I wanted to do, which was take the town, of course. Now they have lost their command. I'm not sure if I killed it with my artillery. I think I must have killed it with my artillery there. You can see they're marking me up for another seed attack on my automatic, which I have not turned off yet. I do continue forward with my infantry. I've got a TOW 2 sitting here, although they haven't really got any armour coming forward, but I haven't really got any tank support left. They've all been taken out. I do bring in 4 more Leopard 1A3s in the hope that they can kind of catch up with my infantry and give them a bit of fire support as we continue, as I decided to continue the assault on Delta. In the meantime, it's a little bit as you were. Looks like Vulcan this time has tried to cross the ground with a few infantry, but kind of again, as they have problems crossing the open ground, Vulcan also having problems crossing this open ground as well. But he's still building up. He's still kind of microing his units backwards and forward, getting them repaired. That's a bit of a stalemate there at the moment. They're continuing to reload, firing their smershes. I'm not sure if that seed plane did come in, but they've certainly smirched my position here and damaged my automatic. The automatic opening up on the MI8 sitting up here. They've got another MI8T in the background bringing some reinforcements in. Now my Leopard 1A3s have managed to catch up. I hope they will get into position. I've got 3 squads of FKPs, which are very nice infantry with close quarters machine gun, although they've been stunned already. They're up against just a few Radveskas at the moment in here. They've got some VDVs, some Iglas, a BTR there which is yet to unload. The biggest problem is probably the choppers, but I've got my automatic which is still alive just. That's the only AA I've got in position though, which could be a problem if it gets taken out, but I've got my Leopards in support now. It brings his KA-52 and his KA-29TB forward to try to push my tanks back a little bit. The automatic gets fired at first, which is a good move by him, takes out my automatic, and now he can send his choppers in to try to attack my tanks. So I now have no air cover. I frantically tried to bring in a couple of extra automatics and my EOTS Hawks, the 2 forward as well. But it's just unfortunate I haven't got any air cover. The Akula now is going to take out my Leopards with its beautiful Viclear missiles with their such a long range. My FKPs are valiantly still trying to attack. They have been attacked from the left here though by General Over's MI8 MTV with its lovely rocket pods, and my 2 Leopards, my remaining forces which attack Delta, are about to get taken down by that Akula. So a bit of a fail there, attack on Delta. I think though fairly even on the losses front, as my Hawk here still comes forward. I think he'll pull back that Akula now. I don't think I'm going to get that. But that was I think that was still an okay attack. Kept them nice and busy. They still haven't managed to get a command onto Delta. They're too busy trying to reinforce it with units. But they did a nice defensive... my Hawks are going to take out that that chopper there, attack chopper. But yeah, I think they did a nice job defending that there with the Akulas. They brought in the seaplane, got rid of my automatic, did everything pretty much right. As an MLU comes in, I'll bring my MLU there. But it's a little bit as you were. My automatics have now arrived, but I'm a bit depleted. I've got no ground forces. I just need to stop that Hawk going forward too far, otherwise that's going to get killed as well. Now, in the meantime, I've missed it. The push has happened on the left-hand side. These SDRVs that Vulcan was saving up have pushed forward with the help of Silverraptor. The 2 F-16s coming in yet again. He's managed to get across that open ground with his big, lovely, fantastic tanks here. He must have tanks in reserve. He's got the two. Where's these big tanks? He's actually lost his big tanks, but he's still got all these tanks here. He's managed to get the tree line up here. So that looked like quite a costly attack, but he has managed to take it. The F-16 still roving around trying to take down this guy here with the help of the Gripen. Lots going on in this game. Really nice game. As the automatics come forward, managed to take out the chopper there. I want to try and keep control of the tree line because I don't run. Next time I'm obviously going to build up for another push either around the side or into the town again. I do want to try and keep control of the tree line, but they have spotted my automatics going into this tree line, and the Smershes come in yet again. Also, I can see the enemy have put quite a lot of units into this compound here, so they're probably not too worried about us getting across the river. But you can see Silverraptor and Vulcan now are determined to get across the river. Firstly, they need to take Charlie down. They have managed to get rid of that UAZ in the corner there, the command, so the enemy can no longer reinforce this position. So all they have now is a few motor Strelky, some VDV. They've still got a T-72A and the Akula and the KA-52. You can see doing their best, absolutely used all of their ammo up, trying to keep back this push that Vulcan has made on the left with the help of Silverraptor, as Vulcan brings up a recon squad. Now, there's a lot of mortars coming in. We've got 8 here from Silverraptor, and the 4 that Vulcan brought in earlier, the Amoses. They're probably going to attack this little town here and then move some infantry or something in, as the enemy just try to reposition just a little bit to try to offer some support over at Charlie. Meanwhile, on my side, it looks like I lost one of my automatics as an Su-25 comes in. Again, the air superiority that they've continued to have over their region, as I have brought some infantry in. Now, I have got my Hawks this time and an automatic and 2 Hawks sitting here. The Hawks here managed to take down that plane, and I've got more infantry moving in to Delta now. So this is my kind of second attack into Delta. I have been continuing to use my artillery, of course, to soften them up, and you can see they're pretty much softened up. They have brought in 1 fresh squad of motor Strelky, but I've got a lot of infantry now, especially these lovely Liv Gardens. Now, also, with the attack on the left, it's kind of taken them a little bit by surprise, as Vulcan, as I thought, now moving in his infantry. I don't know whether they've bombarded it first, but certainly moving in the infantry to try and take these buildings in Charlie and then get a command in there, hopefully. I am assaulting the town in Delta on the other side. Hawks still got some ammo. Now, we have shot down a lot of their planes, and one of the problems for them now is they're kind of losing air superiority over the battlefield, which means they can't really push us back when we push forward as efficiently anymore without all of their planes. Air superiority is a massive part of this game, so you can see Silverraptor bringing me forward a 104 there, napalm bomber to help me out, has helped me take this compound, although it kind of lands on my units as well a little bit. I bring forward my link for a bit of fire support. The automatic comes out. They've still got a lot of units in the tree line, but we are taking control of Delta. Still got my Fennec Ito back here. They've still got a fair amount of AA in here though, so I've got to be a little bit careful. What I really need is a few more tanks, but I'm kind of out of ammo a little bit. Looks like I managed to get some Scanias there. Puff comes forward. Now the infantry are now going into Charlie. They are trying to reinforce from their side of the river, but with this SDRFs sitting in the tree line, there ain't nothing coming over that bridge anytime soon, especially now that they've lost air superiority and would have much difficulty in bombing there. They'll just have to use their Smershes. But it looks like we've had a lucky hit on their base with artillery and taken out their command somehow. So it looks like our artillery have had a a lucky strike there, so they're going to have to get a command back there. So they're in real trouble now. They haven't got any air coming out. We're free to use our air. They won't be able to bring out any fighters. I have managed to take the compound of Delta with my infantry. Looks like my Hawks have been having a field day as well. There isn't a cooler, just trying to offer a couple of Akulas there, trying to offer a little bit of support. Looks like they might be going for my toe 2s, which I just try to pull back as I see the Akulas. I managed to do so. In the meantime, the assault continues. We need to unload. He's got his Guard 90s Vulcan just unloaded there into Charlie. Almost got full control. Well, pretty much has got full control of Charlie now. Just needs to stick a command in there, then they can move forward. I don't think we're really bothering too much about this compound. We're kind of going around it. We don't really want to assault it. Just costs too many units. MI-24P there coming forward to have a little bit of revenge as the Gripens come in to try to take them on from Vulcan. See if they take down this MI-24. Got some, a couple of nice hits, but don't quite take it out. Got the Shresnets hassling the Gripens, but not doing any real damage. Enemy is counter-attacking into Delta, actually. Got some Spetsnaz, and I do kind of run away from them because those Spetsnaz would probably destroy my Live Gardens with their napalm launchers, so I just pull them back a little bit. While we bring some more units in, really. Getting some anti-air in, some automatics as well. Hawks going back to get refilled. And you can see that we're being able to be much more daring with our aircraft now, with puffs and bombers flying over their areas because they haven't got any air force to speak of anymore coming out of their base. It's finally unloaded, what's he got here? Gevin, however you pronounce that, Gevarmans. With their basic kind of rifle infantry, but just need to mop up these motor strelky really. He always got a bunch of STRFs with more infantry in there, so should take nice control of that, but just needs to get a command. I don't know if he's got a command coming over there. Hopefully he has. I'm coming forward with Phoenix. I'm just pulling back my Live Gardens out of range of their napalm launcher of the Spetsnaz, or trying to, and they just pop their Spetsnaz back. They can see what I'm doing straight away. But I've got a bunch more infantry coming in. I've got some Fennec 20mm coming in, just try to take down these Spetsnaz if they pop their heads out. Automatics bumped into a T-72. Hopefully this automatic can stun it. Gets taken out. Very nice. Charlie has been swept of enemy now. And the enemy, in fact, really thin on the ground at the moment. Just microing my Hawks forwards as they've been refueled. And you can see Vulcan taking full advantage of his position now, and get some units over the bridge as they actually have put their command back into their chopper here to try, I think, to get it back to their base. But you can see their defences have completely crumbled. Dual offensive, one on the right side by me into Delta. In fact, I did 2 attacks, although they have actually managed to keep slight control of it. And a big push from Vulcan and Silverraptor on the left here. Managed to take nice control of Charlie. And then a quick rush across the bridge, put some units in here, puts them under pressure. Although for some reason he needs to get that chopper back to base as soon as possible. I think they might be going for a desperate last stand, but there is an STRF firing away at their MI-8V. Is it going to... It just gets away. That would have been game if that MI-8 went down there, because that is their last command. I am now putting forward some more rifle infantry, these FKPs, backed up this time by an automatic and a truck. So plenty of fire support. Just the Spetsnaz left in there now should be able to deal with them nicely as the automatic opens up. They are still battling though, they are still firing the Spetsnaz. All of their team I think is still in the game. They do manage to unload their command now into their base. So they have got their air force back, but I think at this stage they haven't got a lot of air force left because we've shot down most of their planes. Silverraptor moves his STRFs forward to scout out, see what's happening in Bravo. They have got the Akulas still, these Akulas which have been doing a lot of damage from general over the whole game, being spotted with the KA-52 spotting for them. And they do indeed spot these Panzer Strikers and that STRF, or the two STRFs sneaking forward into Bravo. And just, is it going to take that out? That STR, oh, that misses by a mile. That's going to survive and get into the trees. Now, yeah, Silverraptor has actually managed to put a command now into Charlie, so they can spawn out of Charlie and continue their offensive. It's come really too deep with these now, and they're going to get sniped by the anti-air. What have we got anti-air? In fact, it's an STRF firing at this KA-52, which is spinning out of control and goes down. So at this stage, it's kind of a bit of desperate measures for them. I've brought some more Leopards in, just sweeping through the tree line, mopping up any opposition. I've got plenty of infantry now into Delta. But the push now on to finish them off in Alpha. He's managed to get his STRF right into the tree line now, although he can't see that command at the moment. They are actually managed to bring out an Su-25T air superiority fighter. Has 3 puffs come in from the left here, and an F-16 back there. Where he's going with that Su-25, he's going to run smack into my Hawks if he's not careful, and an automatic, and down he goes. Another Su-27, but we've got an F-16 from Silverraptor, I think, out here now. Following up on its missile attack, using its guns maybe, going for the Su-27. It's still alive, it's following, it's circling, trying to take him out, and he goes out, I think, to the Griffins from Vulcan in the end. You can see we've got pretty much complete air superiority now over their part of the battle map. We just need some units in their base to try and finish them off. Still a couple of Spetsnaz in there. I don't think I even know where they are, so they're kind of just hidden. The Leopards have swept through the trees as the game ends, as we snipe their last command. So a really nice game there. Started off fairly well, fairly evenly. Enemy setting up nice defences. We set up nice defences. That battle on the left for Silverraptor Vulcan, just trying to get across that open ground, which Vulcan and Silverraptor did eventually do about 2/3 of the way into the game. I had 2 bites at taking that town across the river. Managed just about to do it in the second bite with the help of all the pressure that was going on the left from Silverraptor and Vulcan. So a really nice game there. Again, showing off what can be sometimes difficult to do the individual nations, especially against when the opposition can have pretty much any deck they want. But nice use of the individual nation decks there, especially where the hard one is the Norwegian one that Silverraptor had, although he used their aircraft really well in that game. And Vulcan used those Swedish tanks to the best effect that they could be used. I was using the EOTS Hawks really well on the right hand side. Could have done a little bit better with my automatics perhaps. That's all I could maybe have improved on. But a nice game overall. I hope you enjoyed it watching, and please, of course, as always, comment, like, subscribe and stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.